Which is the histochemical test for making differentiating DNA and RNA, doctor? Fulgen's reaction is what need to be remembered, which can be able to make only the DNA to become distinct but not the RNA is what need to be remembered. What is the difference between choriocarcinoma and that of a benign mole? Choriocarcinoma will be proliferating so much that it will be composed of highly proliferative trophoblastic cells. It does not produce any villi. So presence or absence is a very important differentiating feature. Typically, absence of villi separates the malignant choriocarcinoma from that of a benign and invasive mole. So one question is going to come from the choriocarcinoma, which you have to remember. And choriocarcinoma can metastasize to the lungs. Actinomycin D is the treatment of choice if there is a liver dysfunction. Otherwise, methotrexate based regimes are the ones which are used. Imago regime is one common regime that is used. Now, hepatitis E typically is transmitted by what, doctor? By the fecal-oral route. So, I will give you one similar question to you. A patient is a chronic carrier state. In which viruses do you think does this state exist? Very good. So, you come across in the B and C is what need to be remembered. A patient is a hepatitis B carrier and he is having chronic active hepatitis. Then what are all the markers do you expect among these to be there in that patient? If he is a chronic carrier, yes, one confident answer. So, you need to remember that the HBeAg, anti-HBc IgG and HBV DNA, HBsAg will be positive but not anti-HBc IgM in a patient who is a carrier and also having a chronic active hepatitis is what I want to underscore to all of you. So what happens in a carrier who is having chronic active hepatitis, doctor? It is active hepatitis. That means it is replicating. And because it is replicating, you will have HBV DNA and HBeAg positivity. And HBsAg anyway is positive in him. But anti-HBc IgM is usually absent only at the time of exacerbations only. IgM will be appearing for a short period of time is what I want to underscore to all of you. Once more, hepatitis B, you may get time or not before your entrance. One question is going to come. So, but before that, let us quickly revise now and now itself. Tell me, doctor, what are all the positive statements regarding the management of hepatitis? Do you think interferon therapy can help in HBV and also HCV patients, or only in one of those two? How about the ribavirin therapy? So please remember, the chronic HBV infection responds to interferon therapy, chronic HCV also responds, but chronic HCV in addition will also respond to the ribavirin therapy also, and hepatitis D infection can be decreased if you give a good vaccination of the HBV. These are all the important statements which you should not basically forget. Now one more favorite question of the examiner, similar question. HTLV is associated with what are all the conditions with which it is associated? At least, yes. Typically, adult T-cell lymphoma, tropical spastic paraparesis, but not with Burkitt's or multiple sclerosis or Hodgkin's is what need to be remembered. One more question on the virology I will ask you. Measles virus infection, does it cause vesicular rash, doctor? Vesicular or maculopapular? Very good, maculopapular, and it can cause encephalitis. Will it respond to the acyclovir, doctor? It does not respond. And it can be treated by giving the immunoglobulin, and it can be prevented by giving the vaccination. These are all the important rules. How about the parvovirus? Does it cause roseola infantum, parvovirus? Think and tell. Or does it cause something else? So you need to be clear, doctor, what is caused by the parvovirus B19 and what is caused by HHV6? So you need to be doubly clear, because recent entrance also we have seen that question. Parvovirus causes erythema infectiosum and it can cause abortion and stillbirths. It is not teratogenic. It causes aplastic crisis in the patients who have got the hemolytic anemia. Typically a patient with a sickle cell disease. In sickle cell disease, what do you expect, doctor? The reticulocyte count? Because sickle cell process is a hemolytic process, so reticulocyte count is expected to increase. But in a patient with sickle cell disease, you found reticulocyte count less than 1%. Then you should think of which complication? Aplastic crisis associated with the parvovirus in the case of the sickle cell disease is what need to be remembered. And parvovirus is not teratogenic, it can cause abortion, it can cause aplastic crisis is what I want to underscore to all of you. Let's go to the next question. Antiviral agents is active against which virus? Once more, today let us wash the topic of virology quickly. Do you think lamivudine can help both HBV and HIV? So, though the lamivudine is a reverse transcriptase inhibitor which is used in the case of the HIV infection, also it is used in the case of the HBV, is what need to be remembered. Ribavirin can be used in the respiratory syncytial virus associated with bronchitis. Acyclovir can be used in the case of the HSV, which can lead to the development of the temporal encephalitis, temporal lobe encephalitis is what need to be remembered. And amantadine is active against only influenza A, but not influenza B. A for A is what I want to underscore to all of you. Let's go to the next question. Metastasis to the heart commonly comes from two tumors. What are they, doctor? Lung and the breast can metastasize is what I want to underscore. Melanomas, leukemias, lymphomas also to the heart. So that is the reason pericardial effusion with a severe anemia. Tell me what is the malignancy which can cause that? Leukemias can undergo. They can cause hematologically anemia, and also they can cause what you call malignant pericardial effusion is something that should not be forgotten. Now, submucosal neuroma is associated with which type of MEN was the question asked. So, one of the types of MEN is going to be in your tomorrow's exam. So, pituitary, parathyroid, pancreatic. If you look at them, all of them are there in the midline. That is what you see in the case of the MEN type 1 syndrome is what need to be basically remembered. So, this is a case of a 26-year-old male. He has presented with a thyroid mass, and the ultrasound guided biopsy of the thyroid has shown the presence of a medullary thyroid cancer. Same time when the CT abdomen was done, you try to compare between these two kidneys, doctor. You can see that the other side kidney is normal, but the right adrenal is showing a mass lesion. When that mass had been resected, it is showing pheochromocytoma. So, pheo with medullary carcinoma of thyroid. What type of MEN syndrome is it, doctor? So, please remember, it is MEN type 2A is what I want to underscore to all of you. So, medullary carcinoma, adrenal pheo with the hyperparathyroidism because of the hyperplasia of the parathyroid, they are all the important constituents of the type 2A. Whereas in type 2B, in addition you will find mucosal neuromas, the lumpy bumpy lips, a tall lanky female who has got a marfanoid habitus. You should think of the possibility of men type 2B is what I want to underscore to all of you. Now what do you mean by runt disease? We are all in the era of transplantation. Graft versus host disease is called the runt disease is what need to be remembered. Who is the fellow who has done the first liver transplantation, doctor? One of the favorite questions of the examiner? Starzl. Starzl is a great man who has done the first liver transplantation, one of the favorite questions of the examiner. So most of the mortality after the bowel transplantation is because of the multi-organ failure in the sepsis, and because the individual had been immunosuppressed by your immunosuppressive therapy, tumor surveillance will be lost. Just like in a HIV patient, in a patient who has received transplantation. Hence, such a patient is more predisposed for developing lymphoreticular malignancies like lymphomas can develop in them. So, this important complication need to be remembered. Let's go to the next question. What are these Mallory bodies? Where do you see them other than in the alcoholic cirrhosis, which is the favorite place where they are found? So, are they intracytoplasmic or intranuclear, doctor? They are intracytoplasmic eosinophilic inclusions that are found in the liver cells, as what you are seeing here, all these eosinophilic structures. They are very characteristic of the alcoholic liver disease, but they are also found in primary biliary cirrhosis, Wilson's disease, cholestatic syndromes, and in the case of the hepatocellular carcinoma. Where do you find senile plaque with dementia, doctor? Alzheimer's. Tacrine is the one which you will be classically using. What are the criteria for the Alzheimer's? Before you say Alzheimer's, you should rule out that the patient did not have a cerebrovascular accident, because vascular dementias are one of the common cause. If they are there, you can't say he is having Alzheimer's. So exclusion criteria before you diagnose the Alzheimer's is also one of the favorite questions of the examiner. You have to be doubly sure about it. Let's go to the next question. Metaplasia, what are all true? Can it be reversible, doctor, metaplasia? Dysplasia is a deranged precancerous change. Metaplasia is conversion of one epithelium to the other. Because of the smoking, our respiratory epithelium modifies according to the smoker's choice. Okay, so but if you stop smoking, the metaplastic changes become reversible. Columnar to squamous is one type of metaplasia. Typically it occurs in the case of respiratory tract. Normally you find columnar, it becomes squamous if the smoker is smoking. So let's go to the next question. Macrocytic anemia, you can see 2005 paper we had a question on non-megaloblastic macrocytic versus megaloblastic macrocytic anemia in the last discussion. Once more macrocytic anemia is there, so our frog and jumping hypothesis is true. That is next entrance also it is going to come. Two questions have come on anemia, doctor, in the 2004. One on microcytic anemia, what is the cause? Diphyllobothrum latum, does it cause? That's what that was what was asked. So that's the reason you need to be sure. So macrocytic is caused by the Diphyllobothrum latum infestation. Now let us go to forensic. I'll go a little faster. Strangulation. What do you mean by this? It is asphyxia, but there is no suspension of the body. What do you mean by lynching, doctor? One whole mob will make this fellow that this is a social outcast and they will hang that fellow. So that is an example. Their hanging is done. So it is no more a strangulation is what need to be remembered. Whereas in garroting, the victim is attacked from behind without any warning is what need to be remembered. And mugging is holding the neck of the victim in the bend of the elbow and killing him. So all these killing questions you need to know, doctor. So a boy has got 20 permanent teeth and 8 temporary teeth. Once more, dentition. Either pediatrics or in forensic, one question is going to come. So please remember, the first permanent molar tooth will be erupting about the 6 to 7 years of age, and will be erupting behind the second temporary molars, and after this the temporary teeth begin to fall off. By about 9 years, 12 permanent teeth are in the mouth and 8 incisors and 4 first molars will be there. And deciduous molars and canines will also be present. By the time he is about 11, 12 becomes 20. By the time 9 becomes 11, 20 permanent teeth will be there, 8 incisors, 8 premolars and 4 molars. By the time he is 14, 28 permanent teeth and there are no deciduous teeth. So this important dental formula should not be basically forgotten. Now let's go to the next question. Why the oral evidence is better than that of the documentary evidence, doctor? Because you can cross-examine the individual, that is the reason. In the head injury, you are the neurosurgeon and the patient was brought because he has undergone a head injury on the tank bund. Then do you need to wait for the consent of that boy's mother and father to come? Not required. Resident medical officer is like the president medical officer there. You can ask his permission, take the consent and then push him to the theatre because that is life threatening. So consent of the hospital resident medical officer on duty. That's the reason tomorrow you are a house surgeon today you are a house surgeon in casualty is a very legally bound duty, doctor. That's the reason you should not miss it. Let's go to the next question. MTP can done up to what age, doctor? Typically it can be done up to 20 weeks is what you remembered. And sample registration survey means what? Both birth and death are basically done every 6 months it is done. It is initiated at mid 1960s is what need to be remembered.